Hey y'all, it's prompt number 133. Let's just frick. My marker fell out. Now I have to sit here and... Oh my gosh, censor that. Oh gosh. Where are we? Oh my gosh. This is so embarrassing. Okay, here we go. Oh gosh, we have 4. Okay. We have goldfish, salt and pepper shakers, puppet, and jetpack. Okay, that's gonna be a fun one. Here we go. As any 4 prompt goes, this was definitely a tough one, and the objects are just they're random, and I really wasn't sure what to do, but I did kind of have an idea. So let's sketch each thing as they are. So I decided to sketch some really goofy goldfish. Goldfish are fun to like make silly and goofy and stylize. Thankfully, they're one of the simple, goofy animals that are just really fun to just go crazy with, make them look stupid, and it's fun and silly, and I like it. Salt and pepper shaker is just that. It's a salt and pepper shaker, and especially when it came to puppet, I wasn't sure because puppet can mean so many things. If you want to get technical, a puppet can be someone that is being controlled by someone else. A puppet can be a sock puppet. A puppet can be a Muppet sort of puppet. There are just so many ways to go about puppet, but I did want to do something silly. But what? I wasn't sure, especially combined with these other 3 words. And of course, jetpack. It was really fun just having this default looking person flying around on this jetpack and having fun with their pose. So even though it was a very simple pose, I really did enjoy that front facing jetpack pose. But how I was going to combine that with the other 3 words was the question. Do I put the goldfish inside the salt and pepper shaker? Do I make that into the jetpack? There were so many options. But how did I combine them to make them into an illustration? That was the question, which I had to think a little bit more on. So getting into this, I sketched a giant goldfish bowl, and I was going to put most, if not all, of the items into this bowl until I thought about doing role reversal. So instead of having a goldfish inside of the bowl and a person on the outside, I could have a person on the inside and goldfish on the outside. And let me just tell you, this is probably one of the strangest and weirdest and peculiar illustrations I've ever drawn in the 500 Drawing Prompts series. I've definitely drawn weird things in my life throughout the years, but as far as prompts and combining words goes, this one is just strange and weird, and sometimes you just gotta go strange and weird just to see where it takes you. Is it the most appealing thing to look at? Am I going to be hanging this drawing on my refrigerator? Probably not, but I did just have fun making the stupidest, weirdest thing I could, and honestly, sometimes that's what you gotta do, and it was fun. So let's talk about it. So like I said, for the most part, it is somewhat role reversally. I was going to put a human inside the fishbowl, but I decided that I really did want water inside the fishbowl, but I didn't want water outside of the fishbowl with air inside of it. So in the end, I didn't want to go with a human on the inside, but I did decide to go with a mermaid because I guess technically mermaids are pretty much human, but they just have like a fishtail. And because all of the goldfish creatures on the outside of the fishbowl were already humanoid characters, I thought it would be best to give whatever is inside the fishbowl not legs, but a fishtail. So we have a very goofy, silly looking mermaid inside this fishbowl. I had a lot of fun stylizing her, so she's really weird looking, but I love it. There are salt and pepper shakers inside for decorations because sometimes fishbowl decorations can get really weird, but I also thought originally when I was going to put a human inside of the bowl, maybe they supplied this human with a dining table with salt and pepper shakers on it because any human needs a table. And that's about it, right? And also a jetpack decoration. So we have a guy with a jetpack and there are air bubbles coming out of it because once again, fishbowl decorations can get pretty silly. I think usually there is a scuba diver ceramic thing you can put inside of a fishbowl. And although originally I was thinking about putting a human in there, so instead of having a scuba diver, I was going to be a jetpack person, but then there's no point in having air coming out of it because it's already full of air. So it kind of worked having a mermaid in there with air bubbles coming out of this jetpack. Obviously, there are just goldfish and goldfish creatures all over this illustration, so that's where they are. And our last prompt puppet is a goldfish sock puppet that the goldfish creature on the left has. He is mocking the fish inside of the fish bowl, and they are looking at it, and he's being sassy and weird. And that's the main part of our prompt. At the bottom of the illustration, you can find some strange goldfish hybrid creatures. After I created the goldfish humanoid things, I just thought, why not? Let's just go all out and make this whole world nothing but goldfish-ish characters and creatures and things that look like goldfish, and the only thing that isn't a goldfish is inside of the, I was going to say tank this time. I've been calling it a fishbowl. So I guess this is sort of like a reality reversed where we have aquariums with fish in them, but this time it's like a human-ish character inside of the tank. But at the same time, we do not live in a world where everything is based off of humans. We don't have human cats and human birds and human dogs. Yet here I am drawing a goldfish dog chasing a goldfish mouse chasing a goldfish with legs. Because why not? And in the air, I have some goldfish flying around. They were supposed to look like they had wings, but then I just sort of gave them fins so it looks like they're swimming through the air, but don't worry about it. They're supposed to be flying, and it's not water, they're in the air. I like how I'm telling you guys not to worry about the fish flying in the air. Meanwhile, we have these weird fish humanoid creatures, and there are much weirder things to worry about in this illustration. So if you couldn't tell at this point, the colors I chose for this illustration are back to my basics. We have blue, we have orange. I love the combination of blue and orange. Obviously they complement each other so well. Though there isn't too much blue mixed throughout the illustration, though I do give the goldfish blue eyes later on. When it came to coloring the goldfish, I did want this illustration to be a little bit more on the bright side because it's such a strange illustration and none of it makes sense. I was just being so goofy and having fun with it. I did go very bright orange for the goldfish, but I did think they were just a little too obnoxious at the beginning, so I did add some yellow to it, which did make them look a little bit more like goldfish than orange fish. So I do really like the fact that all of the fish creature characters are all kind of different shades of orange and yellow instead of all being the same color of yellow. I think I started off with this being a very strange, weird illustration with the first fish guy on the left with a puppet, but then as I drew some of the other smaller, shorter, maybe childlike fish creatures, I was having more fun with it, and I think making them look a little less weird and unsettling and a little bit more on the cute side. I think that first guy is just so lanky and weird and sassy. I don't trust him. So as far as a story goes for this illustration, because we gotta come up with a story, I was kind of thinking that this could be an aquarium and this could maybe be like a really rundown old aquarium or a really good aquarium, and the actually human character is just kind of pushed aside to a dirty corner, abandoned, everyone's forgotten about it. Maybe no one watches it, there's no security guards, so we have kids crawling around on it, climbing on the tank, putting potato chips in it, and to the side there's just a sign that says like do not touch or do not climb, and that's about it. So this poor mermaid has been neglected, and it kind of sounds like I'm making a statement on the state of aquariums and all of that. I do find them sad, but I don't want to get political. But anyways, there it is. This is our very strange goldfish humanoid illustration. I think I finally lost it, y'all. And with that, I'll see you on the end card. Alright, who is ready to take a look at your prompts from last week? We had swordfish and alarm clock. Our first featured artist is The Clever Idiot 8. I just love this really silly illustration of this boy in bed. He's wearing a snorkel. He obviously loves the sea. He's got creatures on his bed, a shark on his wall, and his homemade alarm clock, which is going to be a cat waking him up in not the most pleasant way. This was really silly and creative, and I loved it. Our next featured artist is Fuchsia FF00FF. I just love this illustration. It's mysterious, it's creepy. I love the strokes, I love the colors. I just love the look of that swordfish's face. It's cute, but also weird. The bird is so mysterious, and I just love the vibe of this piece. So thank you all so much for joining in. I can't wait to see what you do for this week's prompts. Stay golden. Bye.